Just kidding. We still got more to say on the same day. We are still on 4/25/2025. I ran out of storage on my other phone. I have two phones going. That's how cool I am. And a laptop. And I think, what else do I have? I think that's it. I need to work on I need to get like a tablet thing going on. That would help too. Almost is what I was ending with the last, when my video cut off. What a silly word. So I keep putting off going on golf mode, and I think I just want things to level out first. I have a lot of things still going on in my life. I think at least one of my, no, I don't want to even talk about that. I think that there are people that see my appearance and see my demeanor, and they think they don't really have a full understanding of my life, and they just see where my status is. So I think that it's interesting. I hold my cards pretty close to my chest, and it's helped me against other people that are playing against me. It does seem that I know pretty fast who can actually see me, and it does take a minute though, usually. Sometimes it takes longer. So sometimes when you're at a good poker table, you're trying to identify who the best players are, because you don't want to play against the best players. And it's kind of like that in life too. So sometimes when you sit at a table or when you get moved to somewhere else, it's just wise to, unless you just are given phenomenal situations, and that's the problem. That's what people will say when you go to a poker table, is you don't really want to have a plan. You do, but you don't, because you need to be able to be reactive to the situation. You don't have clear-cut rules, because sometimes it depends on the blend. All right, so what am I doing here? People don't care what I have to say, I don't think. One of the things where am I? I think I did that. Chevy Chase, that was very enlightening. Let's move on to page 5. I think it's important to keep your cards hidden, basically. You don't really hide it, but it's like when you're playing Uno, and you don't really, one of your main objectives of Uno is to not allow your competitors to know how many, for good players, is to not allow your other players and competitors to know how many cards you have. But you also want to know exactly what cards you have. So that's the trick of it, because you need to be able to pull them up and see them, but then put them back down. So you really don't want to, you want to, it's just like Texas Hold'em. One of the best things you can do in Texas Hold'em is identify what your cards are once, and that's it. Because you only want to be able to reveal yourself once. You look at the cards, you know them, and put them back down. But you got to do that every hand, and it's difficult. I'm not very good at bingo, because bingo, you have to pay attention to the card the whole time. But I'm better at poker. So they're the same thing, but it just is a matter of interest, it sounds like. I just went off the rails again. These are why my videos are so long. The thing is, I'm the most serious I've ever been in my life. I truly do really want to engage. I'm turning 50. I mean, that's kind of a thing. I mean, I'm at least an adult, right? 50 is at least identifiable as an adult. I'm definitely not a kid. When you lose both your parents, you're the top. So that also happens. I think that is a significant thing. But then there are those people that are adopted, but I think you have archetypal. Somebody is helping you raise you, except for some really bring themselves up. But regardless what role you're playing, why do I care? Because I felt the love of everyone, from everyone, and I want to give it back. I am my father's son, my great-grandfather's grandson, my mom's son. I am also a father, and someday maybe a grandpa. How do I fit in? It's been strange. I don't fit. And then I got into, if the shoe fits, wear it, sister. And you made your bed, you might as well sleep in it. My favorite thing to do now, other than my favorite thing to do is to be with my girls. whenever I just to be allowed to be around them and to be able to interact with them and have them in my presence really is it sincerely is my favorite thing to do. So this is the hardest thing I could have ever had to do with my life. Even if it is my own doing, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. So, but I like doing these videos. I enjoy doing these videos. This is one of the ways that I am able to try to make that. I think that my daughters at 50 years old, if they get to be 50 and my YouTube channel is still available, might come back and look at one or two of these 2 billion videos that I've got and say, I think he might have been talking about me there, or just seeing the relevance. Because I know that we have, me and my girls, we have a lot of, there's a lot there. And I think that's because I'm not with them now, so nobody gets to see me interacting with my daughters and see that play. I could be anything, but it doesn't matter. And that's not what I'm trying to prove to the world. It doesn't matter. I don't have to prove to anyone that I'm a good father, except to my children. But that's something I'm going to have to do with just trying to, these videos aren't doing that really, but I am trying very hard with my life as well to figure out a way to live with dignity. I think every session is a new session on these videos. So from the last one to this one, getting a halftime show here wasn't too bad. It helped me to reassess. I get pretty boring, I'm sure. Like I said, these are my own psychological sessions. I feel the lingering effect of the connection, the connectiveness. So one thing I will say is as I'm doing these videos, it seems like deeper into the day, I feel the lingering effect of what it is I feel like I feel when I'm trying to do this. When I write this stuff down and then I present it like I know what I'm talking about. Because why would I spend this much time doing this? There's a lot of reasons. But the lingering effect has been helping me. Here's what also happens with the lingering effect. The lingering effect also is what happens when you leave the room. That reveals the strength that people didn't know was there. So there's the linger of, your presence, what you carry with you. And then there's the linger of what happens after you leave, but because of what you were doing that nobody noticed when you leave, people do notice after you're gone. Oh, he did do that, or she did do that in my life. And sometimes you don't even recognize it because you're pushing it away, but that's something that is very helpful as you're looking forward in life. It's just something that you should keep in mind when you're moving. And as I get more and more serious, like I said, I'm trying to become, I think each moment is very important, especially as you become more aware. So I'm just trying to become much more diligent with my life. So let's end with one of my favorites. I started to do that Linger song from the Cranberries. And then I went down a whole nother rabbit hole because I started listening to that song and I got a little irritated because it always seems to be about a guy cheating on a girl, cheating on a girl that he's with. And then the girl still loves the guy. And they're like sad that the guy cheated on him. I'm trying to be really simple here, but I think that when you make contracts with it's on you what your contract is. Like, if somebody breaks a contract with you, and you still allow it to continue, then that's on you. You're the one that allowed that to happen. And anything that happens as a result of that is on you. So if you continue, then then it's not there anymore. That doesn't make. It's kind of like with the United States government when it declared bankruptcy in the 1920s. Does everybody remember that? When the United States government declared bankruptcy? It's the same kind of thing. I don't know if those two things correlate or not. I'm not a relationship counselor. How can I be? My best relationship is with a cat named Bodhi that I didn't even name. And that's a work in progress. We have been doing much better. We had a day yesterday. But today we bonded. My lasting part here is I say a lot of stuff. This is another 20 minute plus video every day I'm doing this. There's no such thing as wasted time. If you think you wasted time watching me, the joke's on you. But I only did this once. And I've been trying to just leave it. And that's helping me too. I was watching it, but I'm making them so long now. Who's watching this? Nobody is. So I can say whatever I want and just leave it there. And then someday, maybe, somewhere, somebody can come back. I've said so much stuff that they're going to be able to say, hey, he was right about that, because I was like a weatherman. But I bet my bottom dollar that you will remember my song. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising. I hope everybody has a great day out there. This was a part B. I think what I'm going to do is when I do a two-part video, the first one will be 1 and the second one will be B, because that's how I do things. I'm kind of like Chevy Chase, in a way, but I hope not the bad stuff. I've never done cocaine. For anybody that's wondering about David, really, I did some weird stuff, but the highest grade drug that I knowingly really got into, other than some stupid inhalants, is marijuana. That's it. I never did any psychedelics. I've never done none of them. And I've never done any of the cocaine kind of stuff or methamphetamine. None of it. Never done any of it. Just want to make sure that's clear. All right. Have a great day out there.